Okay, guys, as you know, I got this delivered, I think, a couple days ago, but I unboxed it or did a haul yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, because I was like, Wednesday, I need to bust it out, but I really wanted to play with this too. But anyway, yeah, so I picked this bundle up through HSN. I'll have links, there'll be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links for this specific bundle, and maybe if it's other places, we'll see. But it's the We Are Memory Keepers button press. I have heard great things. I've heard horrible things. One of my gals here, was it Jovi? Yeah, she says it's quite a workout, basically. She put in other words, but we'll try it out. And I think probably part of it is probably not making the button. Maybe it's the part where you cut it, which I didn't know that this thing does that, and hopefully it does that. Yeah, and cut paper to size and with included cutting system. Oh, it's a system. It's because it's on here. You just swivel this thing out. And anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Is it swiveling? I don't remember, but either way, we will try it out. The perfect tool to make buttons, keychains, magnets, and more is what it says. Oh, the keychains is probably how I'll go. Somebody had asked, actually a few people after they saw this, like, what are you going to do with the buttons? I don't know. Like, this is definitely just something for funsies. I'm sure Miranda would love to have new buttons on her backpack, like probably every day, but like I would do like every couple weeks or something like that, maybe switch them out with different characters that she likes. I think that'd be really fun. Things like that. Like I said, I have other manual button makers, like from Daiso. They cost $1.50. I'm actually staring at some right now. They have them over there. And they also sell a system that makes wrapped buttons, like button buttons, like for projects. Again, $1.50, and it comes with a little, very archaic way of making the buttons and, the things that you need to pop in there. But, for $1.50, it's not bad. I think I've included them in giveaways before. But anyway, I'm going to open this up. So the bundle with HSN has this, obviously the whole kit. It comes with what's going to make, I guess, the medium size inserts, because it says you can buy small inserts, you can buy large inserts. It doesn't say you can buy, but of course it says sold separately. So interchangeable inserts to create small and large buttons. So I guess this is like the medium size. And then the bundle comes now with the square button. So we'll try both of them today. And then it comes with some more refills for the square. You can find refills pretty easy. All I did was just search, We Are Memory Keepers refills, button press refills, and they popped up. So people were saying that they are easier to find now. I think some of the reviews on HSN, that was part of it. It was like, you can't find refills, so what's the point, But that was, I guess, months ago, so that's been taken care of, I suppose. And with things like this, when they stop carrying them or don't care about them anymore, I would just buy a ton of refills already, just to at least get your money's worth later if you can't find any. But they should be basically basic button refills. I don't see why they would be something different, but some companies like to make theirs different, so you have to get it from them, right? So, I don't know, but we'll check it out. So let's see, there's something heavy in here. Oh, okay. A screwdriver? No, it's the handle, I guess, right? Yeah. Alright, so there's that. There's some fun stuff in here, but let's open this up. It's not too big, to be honest. I thought it was going to be, like, bulkier, so that's not bad. I'll put it over there with my Anna Griffin ribbon box thing. I'm looking at it right now. It just looks pretty, you guys. That's all. I mean, a lot of people, for me, that one was more like an aspirational purchase, because you don't need that. Like I said, I have 3 Ultimate Pros, and they have those same little pegs to make bows. And then, a very easy thing, a project for a hubby to make, or for you to make, for yourself or your child, maybe in wood shop, just to make some pegs, and you go for it, But anyway, okay, so I'm assuming the first thing we're gonna do is screw the top on, but let's just make sure. Attach the top cutting insert. Oh, okay, they're just gonna go for it and not even talk about the handle. Okay, well, that's interesting. Obviously, you gotta screw the handle on. They didn't even talk about it, which is weird. So let's screw this on. This is why I'm telling you, a lot of people are like, you should make instructions for companies. Yeah, let me find time to help companies write instructions. But like, this is part 1, right? So how are they gonna, anyway. And then it's just a lever. Boop, Oh, there's a lot of grease in there, some kind of something that helps it move, I suppose. All right, so that's the basic thing. And then we have our Mylar, which is little plastic coatings. And I guess later on, if you don't want to use that, you don't have to, but it comes in the kits and it comes in the refills, so you have it. But if you just want the button to be like paper, that's fine. But it does have however many, I don't know, I think it said enough to make, what did it say? I read it yesterday, I don't remember. let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard to tell. Ew, they have some kind of oil on them. 1, 2, yeah, so it comes with enough to make 5 of the round medium-sized buttons. So we will need one of these guys. We will need one of the pin backs or button backs. And then we will need one of these. And this definitely has machining oil on it. I can smell it. It's kind of like that weird little oily smell. And then I saw some on the item, so that's clearly... Alright, we're going to need one of each. Hopefully I don't mess it up, because that would be a bummer. And it might be that you waste some. I know, I don't like wasting either, but that's kind of why they give you this. For me, it should be that it's going to work, and that's it. But let's pull all these things out. So this is the piece I think that we cut into, which is interesting. I didn't realize that. I've seen the demo on it before, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention, or was it this one? This thing is basically a steel rule die. You see that? So steel rule dies, like those Biggs dies or like the original Sizzix dies, there's a piece of metal in here all around inside there, and it's covered with foam, and if you really press it, you're going to touch it, and it's sharp, so don't do that. But that's what's going to cut your focal point or whatever it is that you want to go into your button. So kind of cool. I mean, I probably have like, what is this, like a 2-inch diameter circle. So I do like that it comes with that though, so you don't have to go fine cut it or go look for, or include it like a weird stencil or something. Ooh, that felt magnetic. It just stuck to my paper. And then we need all these different things. So this is where it gets tricky, and it might take me a second to figure out too, but you have an A, see how it says A with an arrow, B arrow, B arrow, A arrow. So sometimes you have to line up A's, boop, 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 and it does whatever it's going to do. And sometimes you have to line up B's, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So that has to do with when we get in here. So let's see. Okay, again, we have all these things. Attach the top cutting insert to top housing by aligning the notch with the arrow and pressing upward to magnetize. Oh yeah, remember I just said, I was like, oh, it felt like I had a magnet. But anyway, that was probably something else. Now, again, I don't know if that means this guy, but I think so. See how this one's larger and this one's smaller? They don't really show you a picture, which is weird, but it does say top cutting insert here, okay? And then the base cutting insert looks like this. Kind of interesting. And this one looks like that, kind of with a little notch. Okay, so number 1, attach the top cutting insert to top housing by aligning the notch with arrow and pressing. Now, clearly you can see there's notches. There's 4 notches. These don't have a certain arrow saying, oh, it has to be this one, but they're just saying basically to line those up, right? Oopsie. This is kind of a gangly thing to hold on to. That's kind of weird. Also because I'm leaning it, if it was just up and down. So it's magnetized, so it just sticks with the magnet. And I saw this piece of metal down there. Okay, so that's that. Now number 2, place the base cutting insert into base housing. Now, okay. This is the part that's kind of weird. Because I think it means to go right down here, but look at the picture. And I remember the lady swiveling it out and bringing it back. Let me see something. Nope. Okay. That's weird. Oh, this thing. Yeah, there you go. Now you see here, it didn't say anything about swiveling anything out. This chunk, this image, I guess, because it doesn't look like it, is this thing. And the only reason I know that is because I saw the demo. If I had not seen the demo, let's say I picked this up at Michael's, I would have no idea what they're talking about, but that's just me. So we're going to swivel this out. And it kind of wants to lock in place. There's like magnets there too, like down here or something, because I can feel it kind of clicks. Okay, so now it looks like the picture. We're going to put this guy over here. And I want to try and see. I guess it doesn't matter, because wherever I move it, it's not like falling down anymore. It's just sitting there. It's just kind of sitting there. Button system setup. Cutting system setup. Okay. Are we not going to talk about this? Oh, okay. So it goes from talking about cutting system setup to talking about how to set up the buttons, even though we're not ready for the buttons. And then down here, cutting instructions. We are memory keepers. Why? Who wrote these instructions? Anyway, all right. So what we're going to do is this next part. We're going to do cutting instructions. So we need something, right? Our little focal point to be in our button. So basically, you're going to take this. You're going to put your paper here, and then you can eyeball like where it's going to cut. And then you're going to slide this back over, which is what I remember. and kind of showing that here. And then you're going to give it a squeeze, right? So that's why you're kind of manually die cutting this with your hand with that pressure, okay? So we'll see how hard it is. I'm not the strongest person, to be honest. My hands kind of hurt sometimes. So we'll see. Let me find some paper. That's the one thing I don't know what I want to cut. I mean, I have tons of paper, obviously. I have a feeling thinner paper is better, but then too, if you go too thin, it might just tear it, right? So, and then sometimes you go too thick, it really puckers and it looks bad. So I was thinking maybe some papers from those magazines I just picked up. Remember how I just picked up a bunch of British magazines? Let me go see if there's a cute paper in there. I'll be right back. So this one came with nicer, like really thick papers. This might be a bad idea. I'm gonna use this paper. And it does say to cut it out, but I'm just gonna pull it out. And then you can print out more from their website. Paper Crafter. Okay. And I'm just gonna cut this down, but I'm basically gonna probably get like something like that, but I wanna make sure it falls in the circle. I might have to get a piece from like in here. Right, so that way I can center it better. Okay. And yes, this hurts my heart to cut into stuff that I was never planning on cutting. I'm gonna cut from over here, just so that whatever falls off, I can maybe use it later. So I'm kind of eyeballing that. You definitely want to clear at least, this is where it's gonna cut. It's not cutting way out here. So, you know, your paper can be smaller. But I just want to make sure it was going to be okay. Give it every chance. So, use cutting die as a guide to center design. Preview window of the die shows what button will look like when finished. Because it has that little spice. This is a nice size button, actually. So, we'll base housing into place. Under top housing, it will click into place. So, again, we're going to push this back over here. It does kind of click like this. It doesn't really click. It just feels like a magnet, kind of like holding it. Place paper and cutting die together into base cutting. Oh, they're saying do that now. I left it on there and then swiveled it, but they're saying now place it, which would be kind of harder to do in my opinion. So I think what I did was probably better, but however. And then basically you need to make sure this is centered under here, right? Your little disc, your little cutter, because if it's not, it's going to be crooked and possibly you're going to miss a part. So now we're going to just push down and see if that was enough, because I didn't feel like much pressure, to be honest. That was not enough. Yay! Let's do it again. And now this is going to be all destroyed. It's hard to tell because you can't really, it doesn't like click if you're done cutting, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I'm close to where I was before. It seems like I am. That was really not great. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, now I really pretty much put all my like weight on it. Which is only like 100 pounds, I know, you guys. Okay, well, it did move from the last time, which is a bummer, and I'm just going to finish cutting it off. That is going to be something I need to learn. And now I'm afraid to use this because I feel like, what if that messes it up? How much of this overlaps on here? Oh, I think it'll be okay, actually. Okay. And it's off-centered now, too. Alright, so that's one little issue we had to get past. Press handle firmly to cut paper. You will hear a small sound as the paper cuts. Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. That's why it was like, The second time I felt more like I was cutting it better, but that's about it. Okay, now we're up here. Button system setup. Attach the top insert to top housing by aligning B with the arrow, and pressing upward to magnetize. Outer ring will drop when center is secure. Place the base insert into base housing. Okay. I'm just trying to read what was the first thing we need to do. Button making instructions. Rotate both top and base inserts into position. Place button shell upright. Okay. Yeah, because everything else is going to happen with these two things, just in different ways. So we're going to take this off. Wait, are we going to take that off? Yeah, because we need to put the other thing. Okay, so we're going to take this off. It doesn't really say that. And then we're going to take this off, right, from the top that we had placed earlier. So that was just for the cutting. This is their cutting system, you guys. Because it has 3 things. Actually, 2 things or more is a system, right? All right. I have it slid out here just like in the picture. We're going to take the top, and it says, on the first one it says attach the top insert to top housing by aligning B with the arrow. So here's the top. It says top right on there. I'm aligning B with the arrow, and there's an arrow on B here There's an arrow on this back one too, so it doesn't matter, you know, which one you pick. Just get one with B. And then it says this will drop, and it certainly did. So there goes. Place the base insert into base housing and rotate until insert clicks into place. Okay. Base A, base B. It just says to put it in here and to rotate until it clicks into place. And I guess that was good enough because it clicked, didn't it? It sure did. I just want to see something. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's really tight. All right. Button making. Rotate both top and base inserts to position A. So if I'm looking at it from the side, I'm going to rotate this to A, which basically, B obviously goes in like this. A, it's just the letter A lined up with this. And this is what's facing you if you're just working like I'm doing something different because I'm trying to show it to you guys. Top and base inserts to position A. So right now mine's on, actually I don't know what it is on. I guess it's on B because of the way it's pointing there. Do you see that? This little arrow is pointing to this and it says B. So if I move this over, it's in position A. Now there's a little give here because I can keep messing with it, but basically it stops here. So I guess that's where we're good. Position A. Okay? A, arrow. Oh gosh, this is the scary part. Okay, I'm going to move that to the side so you can see what we're doing next. Place button shell upright, meaning the little rounded area looking at you. So pretty. Place it up right there. Very interesting. It has a little bit of give, but basically it's holding it up for you. You know, it's just sitting on top of that ring. Okay. Then we take our little whatever. Since mine doesn't have a direction, it doesn't matter because it's a circle. So wherever you put it, doesn't matter. And then put your plastic. Oh, you know what? This will actually help it, so that's good. So I was like, oh, it's very thin, kind of magazine material. Oh, this is scary. Now it says for a glossy protective layer, place the Mylar. Like I said, if you don't want to use the Mylar, you don't have to. That's what it says here. Omit this step if a matte paper finish is desired. Well, either way, I used magazine paper that's shiny anyway. Okay. Swivel base housing into place. Under upper housing, it will click into place. Again, it's like a magnet feel. Kind of just stops. And then press handle. Now, I'm going to turn this way and see if I can get... I'm kind of on this in a weird way. But you know what? That wasn't hard. At least it wasn't hard for me. And that one, you know it did it, or at least, hopefully, because it just kind of clicked and did its thing. Okay, so now we're basically at step 7, which is swivel base housing and back out of machine. Note, top pieces of button are now in the top insert. Oh, yeah. So when we flip this out, ta-da, it's gone. Okay. Now, I don't know if something's going to happen if I try to turn this upside down to show it to you guys. But basically, it's up in here. Look at, see? And then the little paper is all weird, looking like a skirt around the button. Very interesting. This is all, again, basically how you make buttons. If it was the Daiso thing or however, you know, you use this weird little thing that kind of pushes it in for you. Or what was the button maker we had before? Imaginess, right? I have all the stuff for that. I even picked up more shanks and stuff recently because I was like, oh, I need more things because they don't sell it anymore. Of course, I found them on eBay. Anyway, we swivel base housing back out. And now rotate both top and base inserts to position B. So here, we're going to turn this to B. Now we're not pushing it up or anything, it's just that when you get to B, when you press it, it'll kind of go up in there, right? So we're on B, and then this one also swivel to B. So again, just so that that arrow is facing the arrow with B. Now once you get the groove of this, I'm sure it's much faster. I'm just trying to really talk about everything. Sorry, hopefully the camera's focusing here, it looks like it is. Oh, now we gotta move on to the next page, guys. Hold on. Let me turn this over. Place pin back, pin side down into base insert. And that's the part that scares me. This is the part I don't understand. Even when I saw the demo, because again, they go kind of quickly through the demo. I'm like, okay, what now? Pin back, pin side down. So this is our pin. This is the back of the pin, right? So pin side down. Yeah, that makes sense because this thing's going to hold onto the front top of it. Okay, and it just pops in there, which is nice. Now swivel, it says align the pin parallel to the pin line. Check that pin is flush against pin back. Okay, align the pin parallel to the pin line. See this right here? There's little lines here. This is interesting because let's say you're... Yeah, Okay, I'm going to move this. So over here, I didn't really talk about that, or at least I skipped it. Yeah, they're pointing out here. Sorry, guys. Because mine doesn't have a direction, I don't really care. You want to line it up. So like, let's say it did have words. So make sure your words, when you lay it down, are lined up to this line that they have here. So now when we do this, it'll also be lined up in the right direction, right? You see how your pin back is going to be nice. And that way it makes sense instead of being kind of wonky. But of course you can pin a pin on however you want. So like, if it's crooked, just put it on this way so it's straight, right? But if you want to make that adjustment, you know, just remember that. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then it just says check that pin is flush against pin back. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be. I mean, it kind of hangs in there. I'm going very slow through this. I'm sure this is much faster. On the second one, we'll go a little quicker, hopefully. Swivel base housing back into place. Under top housing, it will click into place. Again, it just feels like a magnet, like goes tuk. And press handle. Okay. I'm giving that one a really good zhuzh, just in case. And then it says to move this back out. That's pretty, you guys. That is pretty. How do I get it out of here? There. Oh my gosh, I'm a fan already. I tell you, we are memory keepers when they have something that, in my opinion, I know a lot of people don't like it, so you got to read every step and you really got to work with it. It wasn't that hard for me, but, you know, like I said, one of my gals here told me it was kind of difficult to use as far as the pressure. The cutting one, I think that one is kind of eh. But look how pretty. When they do a thing right, they usually do a thing right, and when they do it wrong, they do it very wrong, is what my opinion of we are memory keepers. But wow. Oh my gosh, I mean, I can't even impress to you how tucked away and nice it is on the back. Look at that. I've done other ones where, yeah, the Imaginist was kind of a mess, and that's kind of why I didn't really use it that often. I like that it's a nice pin button. Like, this is adorable. Again, what do you use it on? I'm using it on decorations. I always put little things like on my travel bags just for funsies. Anyway, so they have these different sizes, so of course I'm going to pick up tons more of those. Now, let's move on to this guy. Honestly, I thought this was going to go faster, but, you know, we're looking at the instructions. We want to make sure we're reading and doing it correctly, so hopefully we have a good result. So I'm going to take these guys off, and then again, just, whoop, it's magnetized. This little piece of bolt holds onto the magnet. Now we have those, and I think once you get into it, you'll probably know a little more, like, okay, this is very interesting, because even this one has this little cutter, of course. And this time I'll pay attention to these lines, even though, like I said, I don't think it really matters that much. But, of course, if you're selling pins, like, you want the pin back to be straight, right? According to what's on the front of the pin. So, okay, let's do this again. So we're going to put that down, put this. This was here, and it just sits there. And then this clips in here, again, just like we did before. The arrows, otherwise it won't clip in, or it doesn't really clip in, but it won't hold itself in there. We're gonna make a square pin. Now I would use like a photo, but I don't really have a photo right now that I want to cut and experiment with, you know? That would be really cute though. I'm trying to think, do I have anything printed out? Oh, actually I do have a picture printed out, but it's really big. Miranda had to take a picture to school the other day to talk about herself. And I printed out a picture, and I didn't know because it was from my phone, so it's like whatever happened, I just sent it right to the printer, and it was a huge, like, 8.5 by 11 picture. I was like, oh, okay. And somebody else had mentioned that, too, that she uses her phone for, like, everything. And when we were doing these swaps, like, she couldn't get front and back papers printed or even print anything correctly because the phone just does what it does. I'm sure there's different apps maybe we can put on there. But, okay. Again, this little guy. Let me go find some paper. I'll be right back. How about a Christmas pin, you guys? Yes, 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 yes. Of course, you have to be willing to destroy some paper for this. I mean, look at this little guy. That's funny. He's too classic looking. Oh, I should have got the gnome paper. That'd be really cute. Aw. It's kind of interesting. I have these bits that I cut the other day. Nope. I just grabbed this because I thought this would work, but honestly, I don't know that it works for me. Oh, I do like that. I'm totally going to destroy this piece of paper for this. Probably. What I'm going to do is cut it from down here, and then maybe I'll still have paper to do something else with. You know, this top corner. Guys, there we go. Okay, again, this inner thing is what's actually cutting, so the paper doesn't have to be as big as what I cut. But as I'm eyeballing it, I can kind of have a good idea. What else is there? There's a pine cone here. And up here there's ornaments. Maybe we'll do the pine cone area. Okay. Sorry, I thought I heard my older son. He's getting ready for school. Ooh. And I'm like keeping people captive. I'm like, stay in your room, but he had just woken up. So anyway, I put it out here and then I swivel it in. They said to, well, they didn't really say that, but they kind of showed that it was swiveled in, and then you do this. Now, again, oh my gosh, I feel like this is the part that's tricky, and I really want to give it. Okay, I heard some cutting. I'm probably putting too much leverage on that. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yeah. Please have cut, please have cut. Oh, yay! So this time I did a lot more pressure than the last time. And it feels like this thing wants to give, but I mean, this is metal, you guys. I mean, unless this pin that breaks in here, which I hope not, I think we're good. Okay, so we don't need this anymore, the cutting stuff. Our cutting system. Put that to the side. And now we need to pop these guys in. So again, this guy, pop it in, and then the first thing we want to do is... Hold on, sorry. It's so weird holding this sideways. Like, it doesn't want to grab it, you know, because I'm over here. But anyways, so now it, again, it holds on, and then it drops. So that's normal. And then this guy, we're just going to place here, and it says to turn it until it clicks. There. So this time I did have to click it. Last time it just was fine. All right, I'm going to do this without even looking at the instructions. I'm going to turn it this way, though, so that this thing isn't right in your guys' face. Should I do it without the instructions? That's probably the bad idea. Because I'm already like... Alright, we're going to turn it to A. And you can see the lineup and the A from both sides, so it doesn't matter which way you're looking at it, which is great. And then turn this, and it's already on A. I have the letter A with the arrow pointing at it. Okay. And like I said, I kind of already forgot what we're supposed to... Oh, no. I remember. Okay. This thing, face up. Pretty. We have the line. On this one, it's easier because it's not a circle, right? With the circular one, you can put it this way and you're off of your horizon line. Now I remember that girl was calling it horizon. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to place my paper. Aww. Oh, should we use this or not this time? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and use it, but I do like the way it looks just matte. Because then I'm going to have a bunch of these little pieces of acetate. I guess I could use it for something else, like a card later, but okay. All right. We're going to turn it. Again, we have A and A, which A is the first letter, the first thing to do. Ooh, that one was tight. That one doesn't really, it's not like subjective, like, oh, did I pull it hard enough? Because it's just going to pop in and that's it. There's no more pressure to be given. So, again, it gets up in here. Now we're going to go to B, turn it to B. Turn this one also to B. I want to see something. You can't turn it to B this way. It has to go, see, it only rotates one way. So that's another, I think, a nice feature because you know that's it. Now, again, pin facing down, the inside of the pin, you know, facing up. And then this is interesting because it's not in the middle. So there is definitely an up and a down. And I don't remember what I did with that. So I think like this is what I would want because the poinsettia should be up here, right? If I recall, I had it this way and I put the poinsettia up here. Yeah, okay. So it's on B. So let's think about that. That should be in the center, to be honest. That way you don't have to even think about it. But, all right. So there we go. We're going to turn this back. And now give it a little push. And again, this one is also not subjective. It's just what it is as far as it goes. The cutting one is the one where it's like, okay, I really need to make sure I did this. You guys, this looks so cute. Just sitting here waiting. Oh. What did I do wrong? You see that? It did not grab it. It did not grab it. This is weird. Okay, I wonder if you can take this apart. Yeah, you kind of can. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Ooh, this is scary, but we're going to try it again, guys. We're going to try it again. Let's go back to A. Let's go back to A. Oops, see? See? It couldn't be perfect. There had to be something, right? I don't even know what time it is. I gotta take my son to school. Okay, and then go back to A. Now, when I put A in here, it's... I'm trying to think. Everything's laying on here. I'm just gonna try to open this up again, which I hate to do, but we're just gonna open it up again. This goes here. Okay. This should flatten back out. I'm just gonna flatten it back out. I hate to do this, but oh well. And this time I'm gonna pay attention. So next time we go like this. So this was here like this is what I preferred. This guy's the one that gets really crunched that maybe, oh, maybe we do it this time without this. What do you guys think? Yeah, maybe I'll do it without it since it's all crunched up anyway. So A and A, I'm gonna turn it this way, or it doesn't really matter which way you turn it, but I mean, that's it. There's nothing, I can't do it tighter. What I'm going to do is take a peek, though. Ooh, that ripped off. Let me see what it looks like under here. It looks really bad underneath. Because some of the area ripped off this time, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it again. Let me take this out. I'm just going to take this out. Because, oopsie, there it goes. This whole thing ripped off because we did it twice, so I'm not going to use that. So we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Alright, let's take that off. And I was giving We Are Memory Keepers their credit, but again, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Alright, let's put this here, let's put this here. Let's get that square die again. Am I going to cut more of my good paper? I guess I am. I'm trying to see if this got warped at all when it does its little transition there, because I don't want to... I think it's okay. Alright, we'll do it again. I'm gonna find another piece of little area of paper that I want to cut. And I'll be right back, okay? Okay, same page, I just cut a different area. And I think I want it to be like here. So there's some wording, that beautiful foil. I'm gonna make sure down here that it's going to cut where I need it to cut. Just making sure that's all complete. Let's do this again. Again, this is the scary part because this is very subjective. I'm gonna bring this closer to me, guys, because you've seen me do this. I just need to get it closer to me so I know that I'm really putting like all my weight and pressure on that. I'm giving it some pushes. Alright, okay. Now let's do this again. Pop this in here again until it clicks, they said. Okay. And we should start with A, and then put this guy back on. You have to kind of put it at that B orientation for it to click in. Okay, buddy, what are we doing? Okay. That's weird. Okay. B, it kind of drops down. Now we're going to switch this to A. This is already on A. I'm going to put our little shank in. Oh my gosh. Our paper. Again, horizon, so next time I put the thing up here, the pin will be this way, I guess. I'll try to remember that. Bring this around. Yeah, it's lined up on A, it's lined up on A. I'm just trying to make sure all that same stuff is going down. Again, this is thicker paper, and I've talked at the beginning about how sometimes pins and things like this act funny depending on the paper. Look at this, it shredded that paper again. I don't think this is going to work. Because whenever you put the pin together, it didn't do anything funny to this. Look, it looks exactly the same as that blank that I used earlier. Let me see. Alright, I'm going to use a different paper. Alright. Take number 3. I'll try a different paper that's thinner. Actually, that paper was really thin. Do you remember yesterday I was telling you guys how thin? Look at it. It's probably like an 85-pound paper. Okay, I'll be right back. God. Okay, this is Dear Lizzie Lucky Charm American Crafts paper. It doesn't say the weight, but we're gonna try it. And honestly, I don't care where this cuts, so I'm just gonna cut a square off of here. It's not the thickest paper. It's kind of like, it's not layering weight. It's definitely not as thin as the magazine paper. But let's do it again. I'm already kind of over this. I'm excited for the first one. This is kind of like, okay. Alright. Let's see. A little blue flower is cute over there too, but I guess we'll do it here just to make sure we get what we need. Okay. Let's go in here. Again, this was the one where you... Oh my gosh. What's that? Something feels different this time than when I was making the circle buttons. And I don't know what that is. Okay, barely held on right there, but I'm just gonna do that. And what I'm gonna do also is give it a little spritz of water. I know, doesn't say that, but just a little bit, just on that back side. Probably don't want to trap that under plastic, but for now I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna use the plastic again. All right. I wonder if the little plastic though kind of helps it feel like what am I doing? This goes here, right? Okay. And then this guy goes on top. Oh, let's take this guy out. Sorry, that was loud. Okay. All right, A. Oh, this is interesting. So this time, this isn't lined up right. So we're gonna do with the arrow. I lined it up in here and this is not right. So you need to line up with the arrow when you go to attach it, which I did earlier, otherwise it wouldn't have worked, but I just noticed that now. It's on A. It's on A. We have the line here. Oh, yeah. We put this down. Now I'm like, maybe I should look at the instructions again, because I know, or at least I remember, I feel like it told you to put, yeah, the button facing up, the, you know, the base, the words, and then the plastic thing. Okay. I'll put this. Now let's bring it over. It's on A. It's on A. This is very scary. They're going to be like, oh, for the square one, you have to do B first, then A. Something dumb like that. Okay, that felt nicer, like easier to do, so hopefully it didn't shred. Okay. Something is not right here. Something is not right. It shredded that off. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I was gonna say, well, let's read the instructions. It doesn't even have instructions for this one. I'm assuming it's the exact same deal, right? Okay, well then, let's do it again. With a thinner paper, even thinner than that. I don't know. I feel like I'm a crazy person because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. It worked so well the first time. I even read the instructions again because I'm like, okay, maybe I'm doing... No, that's what it is. Okay, I'm just going to use this again. Super thin paper, which is basically magazine paper. And I just chose this. I don't even care right now. I just want to try this. I don't know where this should go. Maybe here. Okay, we're going to have a plaid button for some reason. Okay. Ugh, it bounced, so that doesn't mean anything. I'm giving it like a few squishes. This is so weird. Okay. Let's get rid of this and get rid of this. They're like, I was just thinking, this is how my mind works. Okay. We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. With like HSN, they're like, oh, this time we're including the, you know, this thing. It's like, well, yeah, probably because it doesn't work very well. Okay, button shank. I'm telling you guys, look at the instructions. It's exactly the same. And again, like I said, this one didn't even come with instructions. Place button shell upright, then cut layer paper design, put it on there, put your little plastic, and then pop it down. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put the plastic back this time and see if that protects it from shredding off the edges. Because I have a feeling that probably has something to do with it. I should probably start with the fresh one, huh? Start with the fresh one, or does it really matter? Let's see. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's do the best theory. Start with the fresh one. The other paper is generally too thick. I mean, it tells you on there if you don't have to use the little acrylic. Because, oh, you know what I should do is cut my own, but that's okay. Oh, you know what? I guess you could cut more of these with the cutter, you know, with this guy of your own acetate. Can't be too thick though. As you can see, this stuff is like ridiculously thin. I think it kind of helps it do its thing, hopefully. Okay, A, we're on A. Let's move it over here. Give it a squeeze. Again, I said earlier squeeze doesn't matter, but because it's going to do it for you. Now let's look underneath here and see what this looks like. It's still ripped off paper. My goodness. Weird. Okay, whatever. And then place the pin back, and it says to make sure like this is kind of free floating for some reason. I don't see why it wouldn't. It has a divot there. You guys, I cannot believe this. Okay. Oh, nope. B. I'm like, maybe the last time I didn't switch it to B. Do you guys notice? I thought I did, but something had to have happened. Let's put it back now. And now we're going to give it that good press, and hopefully it makes me a pin. It made some weird noise. Yay! That is crazy. Thinner paper. I'm gonna have to keep trying this like on its own without the plastic, because they said there you can do it without the plastic, but you saw how it ripped off. So it sheared it off on the edges. I just still did it, but like if I was gonna sell this, obviously I wouldn't, because I don't sell things really, but I would have to do it again, because I mean that's kind of, it's kind of in the background, but weird. So I mean, how many papers do you guys have that are just magazine weight? You know, I tried 3 different brands of paper, you know, thin. This paper from, I just literally didn't use it yesterday because I was like, oh, it's really thin. But it's about, it says 180 pounds is what it says on there. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. Or GSM, because 300 GSM is super stiff and this stuff is still pretty thin. And then this one is from that American Crafts paper. I know it's hard to tell because of the way it's cut. Because look at this thing to do it. Anyway, I don't know. I was super happy at the beginning. Now I'm like, I guess I'll just have to use very thin papers again. If you want to do a photograph, let me know if you guys have done photographs and what you think, because I think you're going to have to print it yourself like on paper that's super thin and then do this instead of like actual photo paper. At least on this one. This is like, I think it's just too tight probably around here. Something about it is really, well, odd. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, I mean, I had fun at the beginning. All right, I'll see you guys at the next one. I'll have links in the description box like I said, but yeah, I'll see ya. Bye now.